And welcome into the finals day of week 2 of the Unsquashable Premier League here at Squash XL. Starting off with the playoff positions firstly, and then through to the grand final. Great to have some top matches so far in the tournament. And now on court, the first match. Well, it is a couple of youngsters. Mason Smales from the Henderson Club, just 15 years old. He does have a PSA ranking of around about 400 in the world. And in the white shirt, it is Jack Condor, the pinball, as we've called him, bouncing off the walls, sometimes sticking to them. He is out there again. We spoke to him yesterday and found out he was at the last year at high school at Mount Albert Grammar. In fact, both of the players are at Mount Albert Grammar, one of the old established schools in Auckland. And of course, in Auckland at the moment, you can play squash. It's been okay for about a week. We're level 2 at the present time in New Zealand. And also joining me, one of the players who will be on court a little bit later on today in the third and fourth playoff. He was the winner of the week 1. It is Tim Archulisi. And Tim, good to have you with me. And how have you enjoyed this second week? You didn't quite win the match you wanted yesterday, did you?
No, I didn't. I think it's been interesting. I think all the players are, actually most players are playing slightly better, but some I think are quite sore from last week. So you can I think you're starting to see the ones that did a bit during quarantine at their house, who are still kicking on, going strong, and then the ones that didn't do much I think are quite sore. So it's been quite interesting this week too.
Well, it's been a real judgment thing, hasn't it? During the 7 or 8 weeks of quarantine, do you go hard? Or when you come out, do you go hard in the tournament, or you just balance it? It's quite tough in many ways. So, one of those things. But let's just have a little look at this match here.
Yeah, I think this will be interesting. I've got some more inside info. I think these guys are 2-all in terms of matches. Yeah, so I think it'll be quite a good one.
And as we said, 2 youngsters, 2 teens, 15 and 17, and it is the left-handed Mason Smales and right-handed Jack Condor in the white shirt. Should be an entertaining match. This is for 7th and 8th, I guess. And both of these players will show plenty of flair. It may not be the most consistent match that we're going to see, but you'll see plenty of flair.
Yeah, you will. I think both these players have that flair, so it should be good. They're both also quite close friends at school, I hear.
Yeah, it's good that the squash community, everybody in Auckland and New Zealand knows each other, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Mason getting a lucky one there. Started well today, Mason. Sometimes you see him sort of start quite slow in matches. I think you saw that in the first round when he played Joel, but he started really well here. Both of them trying to step up the court.
Well, this is one of the longer rallies we'll probably see for a while.
Yeah, I think it is. What do you reckon? Do you think there'll be some long rallies in this match, or?
Not expecting it. Not from what we've seen from both of these guys.
Yeah.
They both like to go for winners. Mason has the delay on his left-handed shots, like most left-handers in racket sports. They're able to delay, hold the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
Nice. There we go. He loves that slice as well on his backhand.
Yeah. Yeah, he should have gone through and played that one, I think.
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing the outside-in backhand slice.
Yeah.
On Mason quite a lot. We'll see more running from Jack Condor than we will from Mason's. I think that's just the two particular styles, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think it's just both their styles. I noticed when I played Jack in the first round, he's actually got a really nice backhand drop from the front. It's quite deceptive. Looks like he's going to hit it to the back. So I think we'll see a bit of that today.
Well, the other thing is that both of these players, for Jack, this is his second week. For Mason, it's his first week.
Yeah.
We're going to see improvement in them because they've been around the likes of you and also Joel.
Yeah, slightly better players.
Yeah, and they just have seen the training, having consistent matches.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes in their own age groups, they may be able to dominate a little, and it gets almost a bit too easy.
Bit too easy, yeah.
They're the big fish in the small pond. Whereas when they get to this, it's like, oh, better step up.
Yeah. That's why I've really liked Jack, because he's really played as hard as he can in every match, hasn't he?
I think everybody's liked him. People overseas as well have commented
Taking
this.
the fancy, yeah.
You've got to enjoy watching him, even if it's not the most stylish. It's enjoyable.
Just leaves his heart out there, doesn't he? Shot. Notice Mason stepping up the court a bit more than he has in his previous matches. Wonder if that might be a game plan thing against Jack.
Well played. That's that hands. They just held it at his feet and just pushed it almost.
Yeah. He's quite clinical, isn't he, Mason? Doesn't have any tims. Shot. Well, not yet.
Well, the other thing is with Mason is that the level he's playing against someone he knows and another teenager rather than someone a bit older.
Yeah.
So that's probably when he just steps up a little bit.
He does, doesn't he?
He's tall. He's over 6 foot.
Yeah. Oh, is he?
Certainly next to me, he's taller than me, so I'll take that as over 6 foot.
I think he might be.
So he's only 15.
I know he's got size 13 feet or something ridiculous, so he'll definitely get over 6 foot if he's not already.
And when you look at someone like Leo Farialofa at 17, who's definitely over 6 foot.
Definitely over 6 foot, yeah.
So you've got plenty of size, which would you consider it a good thing in squash to be tall?
Oh, that's a hard one. I'm not too sure, because I'm quite tall myself, so I have to be careful what I say, but there's not too many top players that are really tall, but I think it does have its benefits for sure.
I mean, you've got Simon Rossner from Germany, who's around about 6'5". James Wilstrop. He's fairly tall.
Yeah.
The Egyptian's not necessarily tall.
No. Shibagi might be quite tall though. How tall's he?
Yeah, I'm not
Maybe
sure.
over 6 foot, maybe not.
Yeah, it's interesting. In the women's, Joelle King's one of the taller ones.
Yeah, exactly.
5'10" or thereabouts. Sarah Jane Perry, relatively tall. Amanda Sobi from US.
Yeah.
But there's not really the big height. Sometimes maybe it will cramp you a little bit.
Yeah. It's normally the short and agile players that are squash players, genuinely.
So there we go, just in the first game. Mason Smales really stepping up from the last couple of matches he's had and up to take that one in, fairly easy fashion on the scoreboard anyway. And the rules in New Zealand, well, they say that you can play squash and you can have gatherings of 10. In fact, you can have more than 10 depending on your venue and depending on spacing in the crowd, that is, whereas on a squash court you're okay. There are certain rules and regulations on tracking and also hygiene. So it's been a great advantage here for the sport in New Zealand already. And Tim, I actually see that first game, Mason Smales really stepping up.
Yeah, I like seeing Mason taking control of that tee area. It's good to see. He's really stepped up and it looks like he's taking control of the pace at the moment. So I think Jack's going to try and get some running into Mason's legs, try and get the rallies a bit longer. Because right now I think Mason's doing very well in terms of dominating.
Well, Jack Condor has played a couple of long matches over the last couple of days. What was the one against you in the first round? Was that?
That wasn't 4.
Yeah, that was 4.
Tight 4 though.
Yeah.
And then he was up 2-love last night, wasn't he?
Against
Lost in
Michael
5.
Sharp, no
Yeah.
doubt, lost there just energy seemed to just step away. He said afterwards, he just lost the energy.
Yeah.
And a good comeback by Shelton Agar.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Oh.
Interesting call there. Yeah, I think Jack surely by now has some body issues, eh?
Yeah. And great to have some of our fans, some of our viewers from Australia joining us, and from around the world as well. And we have found out that in some parts of Australia, Western Australia, Northern Territory, we're allowed to play squash. Whereas in Queensland and New South Wales, it won't be until June 13. Nice touch. Mason, yeah, you're good with your hands, but you're not that good.
No. Smart shot there by Conde in the white. I've seen him do that a few times now, that middle shot.
Nice little dink.
Shot. There's his good backhand drop.
What do you prefer to call a shot like that? I mean, I just got a little dink, but what is it?
Dink.
Just a little...
I like to use the word touch. I don't know, like
Yeah,
great
okay,
touch.
touch is good. Yeah, good touch.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think we've seen more than 3 shots in a row down the backhand side, or, I mean, we do have a left and right hander here, but it's varied, very varied, the shots.
Yeah, quite rare. That is quite common though, eh, with a right-handed player and a left-handed player. There was a definite double bounce there, so I think Jack will call that one.
Nice rally, touch again, dominating the tee.
Ooh.
Good turning, Jack. Very good turn. Well played. Just thinking about the match that you played against Elijah yesterday, where you did have a number of shots down the backhand side, because Elijah Thomas really loves that backhand play.
Yeah.
You could almost rely on 10 shots down that backhand side.
Yeah, you could. You could. I think because I quite like my backhand as well, so we sort of went back and forth on that side a lot.
Seems to be quite a regular thing for a lot of the top players to do that. You see that with the PSA, backhand, until someone gets tentative or someone switches.
Yeah. Ooh.
Nice. Certainly a big step up in play for both of these players against each other.
Yeah.
It is that rivalry.
It is, isn't it? You can kind of tell, I think.
Yeah.
Both really fired up, aren't they?
I mean, it's fine for these guys to play against older people, but every now and then it just the step up when you play against your mate.
Yeah. Everyone has their one rival, don't they? Their one squash rival. Oh, great shot.
So now these two players in for the third game. We have Mason Smales, who is the left-hander, and the right-hander Jack Condor. 1 game apiece. expect a continuation of shots like that. Both players playing forward a lot, too much Lacey. Is that the game of these two to really try and play forward? We know that the court does fade a little at the back.
Yeah, it tends to the ball tends to soften up at the end of the third game as well. So in most matches, so I think in this game you're going to see some pretty short rallies. I think you can see the start of this game's had a few short rallies. It looks like whoever's pushing up and manages to get in front tends to put the most pressure on in this match, doesn't it? Like in that first game, you saw Mason really stepping up and volleying. And then it sort of switched in the second game. Oh, shot.
So a handy little lead now for Jack Condor, 4-1.
It's a good start, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, this is interesting. The mental side of Mason almost dominating the first.
Yeah.
And then the score virtually reversed in the second.
Yeah, yeah.
I am thinking it's not so much about the shots, but who can mentally
Get that mental edge over their opponent, yeah.
And either dominate the forward or push a couple balls back like that.
Yeah.
Have your opponent going backwards.
Great touch there from
Yeah,
Jack in the
very
front corners.
One thing we haven't really seen too much in this match is any use of the lob.
No.
I don't think we've seen it, and even on the serve as well. You know, I saw a couple that you used yesterday where you had more of a lob serve.
Yeah, yeah.
So there you go. Just as I said it, it was a high one.
Yeah, it just switches up the pace a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, just to keep your opponent
guessing, really.
Yeah, because you want a serve either going at their body or a bit further away, and they're not going to be quite focused on where it's going to go, or they're thinking, where is this one going to go?
Yeah, yeah. It also gets lost in the lights on this court too.
Right.
So doing a random one every now and again sort of catches them out too, and you get that sort of bad return of serve. Shot.
Good reach.
Oh. Ball hitting Mason and Jack still asking for a let.
Yeah, Jack, I think you got it sorted.
Yeah.
So a bit of hard work by Jack, and a couple of mistakes by Mason Smales, giving them the 4-point lead. I'll make that a 3-point lead now. Again, the racket skills of Mason Smales has really helped him out.
Yeah.
Like, So if anybody watching would like to give us any comments on this particular match, on the two players, and remembering that they are 15 and 17, and perhaps what they might want to do in the future with their games, feel free to let us know.
Got great rack skills, doesn't he, Mason?
Almost too much. I mean, you see different sports people, different sports who have. How do you call that shot? What do you call that shot?
Oh, lucky shot, don't you?
Lucky.
Oh.
Left it late. Depth and wins that one. So the pinball, Jack Condor wins the his second game and leads 2-1 against Mason Smales.
I think the start here is quite important for Jack.
He was slow in the first, a little bit better in the second and third. Again, the focus. Both players have to focus. They've got the skills.
Yeah.
Both players have to just say, right, if we want to win this, we've got to be consistent and play more shots. I know it's really basic calling it that, but they've got to play more shots.
Yeah.
And this, of course, is the first of 4 games today. We then have Michael Sheltonaga against Glenn Templeton, followed by yourself, Tim Chalisi, against Leo Farialofa. And then in the final, it is Joel Scott against Elijah Thomas.
Looks like Mason's had that good start, hasn't he? I think that was really crucial for him to snag this game.
Mason Smales doesn't seem to show much emotion on his face.
No, he doesn't, does he?
For a young guy who can be up and down a little bit.
Yeah. Sort of never really bothered, is he?
No. I guess it's a great attitude that
Yeah.
doesn't appear to be bothered. There was an opportunity there. Big opportunity for
Didn't really
Jack
move his
Condor.
legs, did he? Got stuck in no man's land.
It's the points like that can change so much when you have the opportunity. Don't go for too much. There you go, let call on that.
Yeah,
You're smiling.
It's just funny because of the last call.
Oh, the head's dropped. Jack.
Naughty.
Okay. As we've
See,
mentioned,
this is the difference, isn't it, between the players that are just slightly above these two. You really don't want to give those easy points away like that. That's better.
and you can see the head drop, and that was not a good thing there from Jack Condor. He just let his head go, let his game go.
Yeah.
But this is what happens when you do have two players who know each other well and where there is that competitiveness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Particularly at a young age. Nice touch.
Good rally there.
And one of the great advantages of squash, it's indoors, particularly in winter, because outdoors in Auckland, the drought for the city has potentially been broken. It has been raining for a couple of hours. The dams around Auckland, for those who know, they've been, the water supply has been down significantly, and some water restrictions coming into Auckland, not too bad. But for the first time in 25 years, it's been a real drought-like system around Auckland. And outside at the moment, it is dry. At Te Chalisi, we are inside and watching two teenagers get very competitive with each other.
Yeah. The classic rivalry here between Mason Smales and Jack Conder.
And just remember, anybody who's watching, these guys are 15 for the left-hander Mason Smales and 17 for Jack Conder. And we've been talking about whoever gets a 3-point lead, maybe a 4-point lead, or can get a fast start, just psychologically. Oh, nice play.
That's
nice
better.
Recovery.
See, he moved his feet there, didn't he?
He did this time, yeah. That's the 3-point lead. Psychologically, I wouldn't say you've got it, but you're certainly quite a way there.
Yeah. Just with the way this... I thought that ball was up. What did you think?
Well, I wasn't thinking. I thought it was actually okay. Maybe I need to get back on the court again myself and get my eyes back in.
Maybe I need an eye check. I've seen a few errors creep in from Mason here.
Yeah, that's a nice little lead. It's only a couple of points.
This is the good start we were talking about, isn't it? From Jack. He just seems to be in a better headspace, doesn't he? In terms of moving his feet, taking the ball early.
But you can also see that whoever uses their feet the most, and that goes with most sports, has the advantage.
You see less errors from Jack this game, isn't it?
Oh,
Great
right
length.
into that corner.
Good dive length there.
So well done there from Jack Conder. Managed to pin his opponent in the corner, ball staying low.
Let's see if our predictions about a good start wins this match.
Oh. Nice shot. So a better effort by Jack Conder in this, the fifth. More footwork and a good, handy early lead.
Shot.
Oh, and there's the silly error in
Yeah.
many ways. It didn't need to push it that hard.
No. I think that lob decision was a good decision. Just didn't need to make it that accurate.
That was better.
Yeah.
Earlier on, he was trying to whack that too hard, trying to put too much on it, but there just needed to take the
placing
pace
it.
off. Had the angle.
Taking the space there, Mason.
Yeah.
It's a good shot.
Nice.
Good lift there.
That's a great game. Well
See,
played.
that was a great lift there from Jack, wasn't it? Really got himself out of pressure. And he actually turned that defensive shot into an attacking shot, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the both of these players do have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe not the consistency. Yeah, so Jack Condor, the pinball there, knew he needed to get out of the way of that one.
Yeah.
He's going to get a racket in his head. And ball staying low. And now the advantage to Jack Condor looking for the victory here. And you mentioned that they were 2 apiece going into it.
Yeah.
Good to keep the rivalry going.
Yeah, exactly. Knew it was going to be a tough match, didn't we? It's a good rally here. Good call.
I think the thing was there, you could see Mason Smales trying to get forward, trying to
Trying to get out of the way. I think he adjusted enough there. Oh, good shot there.
nice turn, back in
Recovery
it
there.
again. Double bounce. Well, he's let a couple points go from game point, match point.
Yeah, I like the way Mason's fighting here.
Maybe a little bit too late.
Maybe.
That's it, take it on the volley.
But his length's gone a bit better, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, definitely.
Just creating his opportunities.
Well played.
And it's a good fight.
Interesting when Mason does go forward and take the ball on the volley.
Yeah.
He generally will win those points.
Yeah, he tends to dominate, doesn't he?
Good running.
He's played it. Great rally here. Awesome lock.
Yeah, well done. Suddenly we saw the Mason Smales running shots down and trying to go forward as well. So he really put something back into it.
Yeah. It's really fighting, isn't it? This is interesting.
Yeah. What's that,
Getting
about
to the
4
interesting
points?
stage. Yeah. It's good length. Shots. Can he bring it back?
When you do that on match point, it's pretty audacious, but it worked.
It worked. Getting to the juicy part of the 5th game here.
Indeed.
It's good improvisation there.
That's it. Oh. Well played.
Going to shake hands there.
Got to shake hands. You still got to do a little bit of distancing as such, but eventually it is a win in 5, and at 40 minutes, and a nice little comeback to really make it close there in the end by Mason Smales. But overall, it was Jack Condor winning in 5 games, and Timwa Chalisi. That was entertaining. It was a bit up and down, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was literally whoever started well tended to win the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fun to watch, particularly that last game, because there was a little bit more on it, and
Yeah.
after Jack Condor had moved out to a good lead, it was then Mason Smales who said, well, I'm not going to give it to you.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to
exactly.
fight.
And I really like that from Mason.